People, welcome back to Politricks Watch. This is Sir P. Now, here's a fun fact. Outside of Jamaica, which is pretty obvious that I would have a large following from Jamaica, but outside of Jamaica, the countries where I have the biggest audience is the United States, United Kingdom, Canada, and Trinidad and Tobago. Right now, also lots of people message me from small islands. People even as far away from even Zambia and places like that, right? But it's no surprise that I would have people from the US and the UK and Canada, right? A lot of Jamaicans live there. But what has surprised me is that a lot of people, a lot of Trinis message me. I mean, people in Trinidad message me and send me stories from Trinidad as if I live in Trinidad, right? I have subscribers who come from Trinidad where we talk about issues. You'd still say, me know Trinidad coming, like I don't know a thing about Trinidad, right? Outside of what I see on the news and what I read about it, right? Now, here's the thing. Every time I do a certain video on Jamaica and I talk about a certain place, or I talk about, certain communities being aesthetic, or I talk about the culture or the mindset, Trini people always message me, right? Saying, Sir P, come like you talk about Trinidad. Everything we talk about, we can see it. Everything we describe happened over here. And it dawned on me, you know what? Let's look at Trinidad. Because, one of the lazy arguments and the narrative that people have been pushing for years is that, well, the reason why Jamaica's murder rate so high is because people poor, right? It's one of the laziest narratives going around. It's been going around for so long that even a lot of people just accept it as fact. To be honest, even when I was young and I grew up, I just accept it because I just everybody said that Jamaica murder rate high because the youth them poor, right? But as you know, over here on Politricks Watch, I've been steady killing that narrative, right? Now, people, I want you to look at your screen right now. To the left of your screen, you will see a list, 13 countries. That right there, as it stands, are the 13 poorest, most destitute countries on earth. If you look to the right of your screen, you will see the 13 countries with the highest murder rate per capita. Now, if you look, the first country at the top with the underline, of course, Jamaica, in the mix, right, 47.01. And then if you look at the second country, with the line underneath it, you will see that's Trinidad and Tobago. So Jamaica is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Jamaica is 5th. And Trinidad is 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Trinidad is 11th. 11th highest murder rate per capita in the world, or per 100,000. No wonder people from Trinidad have been linking me. No wonder Trinis are saying the same thing. Them are David. No wonder Trinis can relate. Oh, and look, right at the bottom there, Bahamas running out the top 13. Matter of fact, a lot of Caribbean countries are in this list. The top 13, Caribbean countries make up the, let me see, yeah, you can say it's a fair statement. Caribbean countries full up this list. Top 13 most highest murder rate per 100,000 in the world. Now, tell me something. Look at the left and look at the right. Match them up. Because remember, poverty is what caused murder. People shoot and kill each other in record numbers because they're poor. So the poorest countries on the left, you'll at least find a few of them on the right. No? Isn't that a fair statement? And don't worry, I'm going to show you some other things too, such as education and all the other excuses that people want to make. I'm going to show you. When we talk about aesthetic, when we talk about culture, when we talk about mindset, when we talk about homes, when we talk about conveyor belt, and I'm going to see what I'm talking about. Trinidad, 30.88. Trinidad, Bahamas. Matter of fact, Trini, tell me something before we go any further in this video. Trinidad people, can you explain to me this whole chain hang down to the knee thing? I say big up Trinidad, big up Tobago, right? But I just want to know, this gold chain, 100 gold chain around the neck, and some of them are hang down to your knee. Can my Trini subscribers and my Trini audience explain to me, is there a cultural significance behind this? I just want to know, because I've never seen anything like this in my life. And it's not one or two. It's like a thing in Trinidad where man wear some chain while drag man the ground. The man chain catch him down on him ankle. Somebody need to explain that to me. Right? But anyway, people, El Salvador at the top, 82.84. First of all, I don't know, I can't even wrap my head around that. If Jamaica is 47.01 and stays so, imagine El Salvador, 82.84. I put a question mark beside it. That is extraordinary. Now, what more people to look upon is this. The culture in Jamaica is more or less the same as the culture in Trinidad, and the culture in the Bahamas, and the culture in the St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and the culture in the St. Kitts and Nevis, and the culture in Belize. Matter of fact, we can go as far as to say most Caribbean countries in the English-speaking Caribbean have the same culture, right? We might change up a couple words here or there, right? For example, in a Trinidad, they might talk about a girl. They might talk about a girl bumper. They might say, them say Bamsey. In Jamaica we say Coolie. In Trinidad them say Douglas, right? But more or less it's the same, right? So no wonder. That shows you we are talking about culture and mindset. You want to answer the question early before we go any further in the video? What does Trinidad and Jamaica have in common? Simple. Culture and mindset. Exact same. And the exact same results. Topping the murder charts. Come on, people from Trinidad, talk to them now. Talk to them. What Jamaica know about poverty? What Trinidad and Tobago know about poverty? Bahamas, you should be ashamed of yourself. The fact that Bahamas even dip on this list. What Bahamas know about poverty? Look at your left. That's poverty. Those are the... Don't worry, because we'll get to education. That education is the next one. Remember my video? LIQ breed more criminals than low farmer education. I'm going to show you what some of these countries' literacy rate is like. And I'm going to show you their crime rate. Come on, people. Let's go. Right? Wake up on a friend and reason. We're going to reason on the day. Right? We're going to reason. Now I'm going to move on to the next slide because I'm going to make a point before we really get deep into the video. Right? So people, look at your screen right now. Remember I told you we're killing the narrative that poverty breed murder. People, again, look at the left on your screen. The 10 poorest countries in the world. Now look at the right on your screen. You will see countries with extraordinarily low murder rates. Extremely low. So low I can't even wrap my head around it. Think about it, Jamaica is 47.01, Trinidad are 30 point something. These countries are 1 point little bit. So you know crime low, right? Look at the very top. Who that? Belgium. One of the wealthiest, most prosperous, most peaceful nations on earth. Right? You see the line under Belgium? 1.95. Come down and look at the second line. You see what country that is? Malawi. Now, take your eyes to the left of your screen and look for number 6. Yes, that same Malawi, that is the 6th poorest, most destitute country on earth, has a crime rate, has a murder rate lower than Belgium. Oh boy, people, I wonder if I'm not drinking tea. When I'm not drinking tea, because you see, for years, your favorite politician, your favorite entertainer have been telling you that, oh well, a poverty breed murder, and if the youths invest get some money, crime done. Murder done. You see, the reason why your favorite politician and your favorite entertainer and your favorite scholar tell you that is because it exonerates them from responsibility, because them never invent poverty. So them can say, well, hey, listen, I might be a crooked politician, but my born comes to poverty, it's not my fault. Likewise, your favorite entertainer, likewise your favorite scholar, likewise whoever. That's why they love the poverty excuse. Because it take off all the responsibility off of them, because they never invent poverty. So them just say, well, born come see it and it's my fault. I have nothing to do with it. Even though I feed into the acidic culture and I help to put things in a certain youth's mind, but hey, nothing to do with me and I mean invent poverty. Look at your screen, come on. Malawi, the 6th poorest country in the world. Crime rate lower than Belgium. Look under Malawi. Which country that, people? Trinidad people, one of them. I'm probably I eat one shark right now as now listen to this. I know the style now. Love the shark and the doubles. Trinidad people, who that underneath Malawi? Sierra Leone. Sierra Leone, you know that African country that's built through hell and powder horse? That African country that has been through so much civil war, tear left, right and center. How much people dead gone over here so? That country now has a murder rate lower than Belgium, and just slightly slightly just call it equal to Canada. Yes, big first world. Have people have thought, oh, Canada's a safe country. Guess what? It's just as safe as Sierra Leone and Malawi. Take your eye to the left of your screen. Sierra Leone is the 10th poorest country in the world. The 10th poorest country in the world. As a matter of fact, look at Saudi Arabia. You know Saudi Arabia rich, right? Guess what? Sierra Leone, Malawi, these countries are playing in the same field. Because all of them down at the low 1 point something. Right? Say France there, 1.35. Something such as show no. But them are going to say, oh well, maybe because education. The youth are not educated. That's why murder rates are high. Okay, let's look at the same Sierra Leone literacy rate. Oh, hold on. Would that say 432? No. 43.2%. 43% of adults in Sierra Leone are literate. Let me say that again because I say it even slower. 43.2% of adults in Sierra Leone are literate. Only 43%, less than half of the population can read and write. But you know, education is the problem. If the youth then just get more education and then murder rate will drop. Your favorite politician tell you that too. Your favorite artist tell you that too. Again, it exonerate them because them born come see the education system in our poor state. Well, guess what? Guess what? Because you know people say, oh, Jamaica education system weak, Jamaican education system shabby, not done for the youths them. Too much people in the country done. Guess what? Remember the number, 43.2? Let's look at Jamaica's literacy rate. In 2014, 6 years ago, Jamaica's literacy rate was 88.1%. That would have increased by now because every country, every year take time get better and better slowly. So Jamaica, as a literacy rate, we can just call it 90% then. The overwhelming majority of Jamaicans can read and write. It is a myth that Jamaica is full of illiterate people. But what did my video say? Remember that video? Not even a week now. Intelligence breeds more criminals. Low intelligence breeds more criminals than low formal education. The ability to read and write is not what go make you go, oh, well, me can't read and write, so me go boss. No. This is why I talk about LEQ. This is why Sierra Leone, a nation that is poorer than Jamaica, right, have only 43% of them can read and write, right? That's why you will see them have every metric where you can measure, worse healthcare, worse this, yet still, for them murder rate down in the 1 point something. Them have too much rifle over there, because remember, those who know them history, remember when Sierra Leone had them big civil war. Sierra Leone have rifle for dash way. So them have all the guns them, right? Not as educated, poorer, all the box where you want tick. Yet still, murder rate lower than Belgium. Come on, people talk to me, Trinidad won't there. Trinidad people won't there. Stop make politicians and entertainers and so-called scholars feed you this lazy narrative, right? Because it's an extremely lazy narrative. As I say, it make them not to do nothing because them can just say, well, I saw the things that I called somebody come see it now, nothing to do with me, right? People look at your screen again. Remember the country that topped the poorest countries in the world, most destitute country in the world? When you want to know about poverty, Google a country named Burundi. I know enough people who listen to this probably even never heard of a country named Burundi in their life. It's a country in the great continent of Africa. Look at Burundi's murder rate per 100,000 per capita. Come on, look. 6.02. Look who Burundi they're right beside her. The United States of America. America the 5.35, Burundi the 6.02. Remember, where Trinidad there? 30. Where Jamaica there? 47. Zambia, another African nation, 5.30, even lower than Uncle Sam. So no wonder people from Trinidad, people from Bahamas, people from St. Vincent always link me because it's the same thing. They can relate to what I'm saying. That is why my message is reaching in those countries, right? The same way how we look at children and how we treat children, how they are made in Jamaica is the same way they are made in Trinidad, right? enough time for all the wrong reasons. It's fun and games. Reproduction is a joke. A giant joke. The same way I talk about the fatherless issue. Right? The same way I talk about the one bag of acidic communities with women in the homes raising these children all by themselves. Using on a father to show them the direction and the leadership are the same thing. Trinidad youth them. In the Trinidad acidic communities them are the same thing they might face. Rich poverty. Look at the poorest countries in the world. You know what these African countries have? You know what the one thing you can't take from African countries? Go to any African country and you will see this, and I hope my African subscribers back me up in the comment section. They will tell you that in Zambia, right, in Sierra Leone, in Ghana, these countries, no matter how poor they are, you will go in any community and you will see, in those communities, you will see men playing leadership roles. Come on, hit that dislike button. I'm working here. Now care how the community poor. Now care how things destitute. You will go in those homes and you will see men. You will see men who have them pitney under control. You will see men who went and then talk, then pitney listen. You won't see a trillion African woman after raise 100 pitney unless the father dead. The father have got dead or something. Right? I'm there jail. Right? Even though just live down the road. Like you find in Jamaica or Trinidad and Tobago. Right? And we are talking about some countries where for them, enough of these African countries, for them corruption make Jamaica corruption look like a joke. But even so, them can't get to a certain level of badness, and them youths can't go to a certain level of crime, even though them have even easier access to weapons. What did I say to you in an old video? Remember the mobile video? I say if Jamaica they just have even, just if Jamaica get more fathers in the homes right now, half our problems them take care of. But you see, people don't push this narrative. People don't push this narrative because they don't want things to fix. They benefit from the death and destruction. Certain little foolishness only people listen to and watch. Right? The people them who show them, the last thing they want is children with strong leaders in them homes. Show them a sense of direction. Right? That is the last thing they want. That's the last thing your MP want. That's the last thing your favorite politician want. That's the last thing your favorite entertainer want. Right? This is why I'm talking about agents. Listen, we can cuss all in the one. I show the numbers, I show the data. Right? This is not my opinion. It's not like somebody sit down and I guess. Show me. I only say poverty are the reason for Jamaica murder rate. Right? If poverty causes something, right, then you're supposed to cancel right. See there? Look on the rest of the world, no? Explain to me how the 13 countries them, right, will make up the top 13 highest murder rate per 100,000 of the world. Show me we can't find them in the poverty list. And then show me our country, right, one of the most destitute places on earth, have a lower murder rate than Belgium, one of the most prosperous. And when people think about Belgium, them think it's a paradise in the grand scheme of things. And you have African nations. Because in the West, we are taught that Africa is like some kind of hellhole where everybody just murder off each other. Man just dead every day. Yet still we're looking at these numbers. African countries down in the 1 point. Sierra Leone down at the 1.3, 1.4. Not even Uncle Sam can go down to the 1 point. Uncle Sam that 5.3. Trinidad one of there. Bahamas one of there. Kill the narrative. Because until we kill the narrative, we can't get to the real issue. Because them throw this up like a roadblock. Oh well, it's because they're poor. It's because you need to get more education. I'm just showing education already. Every time I'm done, I can go do my own Googling. It's not formal education. L-E-Q, L-I-Q. When I talk about communities, when I talk about the homes, culture, how people behave, look at how your average Jamaican young female behave, your average young Jamaican, your average young Trinidad woman behave, and then go look at your average young lady from a Burundi, young lady from a Ghana, young lady from a Zambia. It's a different culture and mindset. But listen, don't take me seriously, don't listen to me. I'm just trying to make up things, get views, bad mind scam and look at hype of an artist. Patreon squad, big up on yourself. PIA, more life. Hey Trinidad, big up on the Bahamas, whole Caribbean. Bless.